I'm going to share a note, and I often make notes on my phone. You see there, I don't think it will show, it's just a white screen. But I write notes on my phone for when I do videos and stuff, because for a couple of reasons. One of them is sometimes I think I have a great idea or something to talk about or something to reflect about, and then when I go back to it at a later time, it doesn't make sense. So obviously at the time I was really just recording an emotion, and over the years it's enabled me to refine this kind of talking process on different platforms, so that you're not just ranting because you're upset about something. And interestingly, as I'm starting to sort of ramble there, that's not the purpose of this. This is about something I realized to do with finances and money, about what do you want. And what I wrote was, are you trying to make more money or have a fulfilling job? I know most people will say both, and this isn't a real reflection of reality. But when you treat working for money as a financial plan, these people, they have a greater success because they detach from fulfillment and focus on the financial goal and get out plan. And because they're working towards the light at the end of the tunnel, they focus on the outcome only. And I've always found this to be relatively true. There are exceptions where people, their passion is their job. But for the most part, I have a full-time job. And, you know, and I work on the side doing social media, and I coach clients, and that portfolio is up and down. You know, the plan is for it to increase exponentially and, you know, become a sort of self-fulfilling, self-developing, perpetual motion, always growing bigger. That in part is the purpose of these videos. So that's the point. This is the fulfillment side of a financial goal, but there's no finances that allow me to stop my full-time job. So I look at my full-time job as what it is. It's a financial plan because it supports something else. And I've noticed over the years that people get caught up in wanting fulfillment, and they want a fulfilling job, or they want fulfillment from their job. And sometimes they're doing a job that there's no way in hell that would be fulfilling. It's the sort of job that you would end up doing for eternity in hell, because it's pretty shit. It's mundane, it's tedious. And the difference between, you can have two people doing the same job. One person is embedded and entrenched in this thinking, how do I make this more fulfilling? And I blame, to some degree, the LinkedIn world and stuff like that. Being a good leader, leading your team, motivating your team. If you have a tedious job, you have a tedious job. And for people that don't understand that, it's because you don't have a tedious job. But your job can be a financial plan. It can just be a financial goal. It can be a personal goal to enable you to follow other dreams, to chase after other dreams, to go after other goals. The world is full of people that if you talk to them about where they are and what they've done in their life, at some point they had what they would describe as a shitty dead-end job, but it enabled them to go to night school. It enabled them to save up money. It enabled them to do something at weekends where they either explored a passion or honed a new skill that they were inspired to do, you know, or they saved up enough money to go back to college, back to university, take up an apprenticeship, or they travelled the world. The amount of people over the years I've worked at in supermarkets and stuff who were the happiest people you ever met, because every paycheck was just another paycheck that would mean they could go travelling. And they would work like 6 months solid and have a financial plan to go travelling for 2 years. Yeah. And they would do every overtime shift going. Sometimes these people working 80 hours a week. But they had a really focused financial goal. I'm going to do this for X amount of time, It would always be a predetermined amount of time. So you could almost see it every day. They would be counting off the days. Just scribe that out. Big cross. Another day done. Another day gone. They never wavered off that goal. They always knew the goal. There was never anything that was going to change their mind. And as soon as their time was up, 48, 72 hours later, they were on a plane following that dream. And me and the rest of the crew were just a distant memory. 48 hours later, 72 hours later, you're already a distant memory. They're forward focused. They're focusing on the future. They are looking forwards. And that's all they were ever doing. Every shift, they just kept looking forward. This is where I'm going. This is the goal. The more money they earned, the bigger the trip became. The more money they earned, the trip went from 3 months traveling to 6 months traveling to 12 months to 2 years. They had a plan, that goal. And that's sometimes what you need to do when you're working in a job that you find unfulfilling, is think about what is fulfilling, what would fulfill you, and how do you achieve it. Now, maybe that fulfillment is get your head down for the next 4 years. Live in the cheapest accommodation, cheapest place you can live. Live the most sparse, frugal life you can live. Save every penny you can possibly save for the next 4 years. And then go and do something with it. Maybe it's go back to college. Maybe it's learn a skill. Maybe you're going to travel the world for the next 10 years. Who knows? Maybe you're just going to put a big deposit down on a house. It doesn't matter. But that's the difference between the two people that I see at general work life, general jobs. People that have a financial plan and they work for a purpose, and people that are looking for fulfillment in a job that can't be fulfilling. So be observant, be mindful. Check out which one are you. And let's say if you find that your job is dragging you down, is it because you're looking for fulfillment for the job rather than letting that job fulfill a purpose?